anti-nuke means what's the makes sense. You know what I mean?
Is there a master or you girls?
Yeah,
The master women's?
I've got a master. Yeah, sorry, master. But we're doing first. No, I don't mind if you're from the West. You can go. All the way is on Sunday. I got to do Friday and Sunday. On Wednesday, I do fast. Tuesday, they just so yeah, that's it. Yeah. Where's the TV remote, please? Where's the tip down? 3557. Wait, switch right. I got it. No, sir, I got it. All right. All right, we're live. Shalom Magawar, Sha'al Yahawada, Tamika Oldham, and Barack Wanaso. Shalom. All right, then let's get into it. Shalom. This is the I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General Yahanna. As you know, in the UK, we have a school as well. The address is 394 Lodge Road, postcode B18 5PW. I'll say the address one more time. 394 Lodge Road, postcode B18 5PW. And in the school, we hold classes 3 times a week. So you have the Monday class, which in the UK is a history class done by Officer Karafia. You know, very powerful history, a lot of history that many of us in the UK don't know. Many of us in the UK haven't even heard of it. So, you know, you don't want to miss the history class. Then we got the Wednesday law class done by Officer Dumgabar, where it goes into the law, goes into the commandments and the statutes. Then today is the scripture breakdown class. So all these classes are at the same time. It's at Sorry. Sorry, they're all at the same time, 7 till 9, 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock. So you don't want to miss that. Then also in America as well, there's classes also. So you got the Brotherhood class, then you got a Wednesday law class, a Thursday scripture breakdown class done by General Muhammad. Then you got the Friday class, which is a language class, which is called the Lashawan Quadash, the Holy Tongue, the ancient language of every black man, every Hispanic man, and every native Indian man. So, you don't want to miss that as well. So, with that being said, we're going to get into the class. So, the class is called Stonehenge was not made by giants. Genesis 6 is not talking about giants. So why are we talking about this? If you haven't seen the video on the YouTube I.S.U.P.K, United Kingdom, we done a video last week. We went to Stonehenge. Now, many people that believe in the Illuminati, the Anunnaki, the Anakims, they will say to you that giants built Stonehenge. Reason being is in ancient times, no one couldn't move rocks that big. No one couldn't just butt joints rocks of that weight unless there had to be giants. There had to be fallen angels, and that is a lie. And here's the thing. Many people that say things like that, they've never been to Stonehenge. They've never jumped in their car. They never went there and seen all the evidence that they do have. So let me tell you off the jump, giants did not make Stonehenge. Fallen angels did not build Stonehenge, men did. And what's funny is if you go there and you start going on the internet, you start looking on YouTube, you'll find out that they even have the techniques in how Stonehenge was even made, how it was constructed, even through the archaeological evidence they have. They even found the houses where these men that made Stonehenge lived. So for someone to say, the Nephilim, the giants, they built something like Stonehenge is ridiculous. It's not the truth at all. There's no truth in it, not one piece. So, watch the video and we'll show you that it was built by men. They used techniques with rope to, rear them up, these big rocks, where they even got the stones from and how they did it. So it's got nothing to do with giants, fallen angels, some celestial beings, whatever they say. And the sad thing is, if they would have went there, they would have known. You can walk to the Stonehenge, but in the gallery they even have some of the items they would have used, the roping techniques they would have used. They have it all there. But again, people that love YouTube, people that love the internet, they would rather you believe fallen angels built this, giants built this, Anunnakis built this, angels that fell from God's grace, they built this, and that is a lie. And first off, in the Bible, we're gonna get into giants and fallen angels as what they say. So we're gonna show you in the Bible, but also what they claim giants made. Giants did not make it, man did. And the problem is people need to turn off YouTube, stop listening to Alex Jones and Ricky Gervais and many people that claim these things are facts because they're not facts. They're all lies. So we're going to get into Genesis 6. But before that, I just want to get a scripture in Ecclesiasticus. Bear with me 1 second. So it's going to get one scripture to make the point. He that knoweth little. All right, so we're going to go to Ecclesiasticus 34 and 10. So we're going to get Ecclesiasticus 34 and 10. Let me get it 1 second. So Ecclesiasticus 34 and 10, it lets you know that, a man that his whole life is based on YouTube can't help you. A man whose whole life, you got something for yourself? A man that bases his whole life on the internet hasn't got wisdom. And that's why they would say ridiculous things like giants built Stonehenge. They would say ridiculous things like these celestial beings. You know what I mean? Look at the weight of those rocks. How could man do that? They're not even joined together. Those rocks are just resting on each other. These must have been angels. These must have been giants. And he says that because YouTube's his God. He says that because, you know what I mean, the internet and these conspiracy theorists, they are his gods, man. And you know what I mean? And as what the brother James Smith said, man, you want to discredit the real people that made it, and it wasn't Israelites neither, man. It was man. In the Apocrypha, I believe it's in the Wisdom of Solomon, he says it about the inventions of man. The same way the Lord set out the order to make the earth. Inside man, we have the same inventions too, man, where we make things like Stonehenge. I want to say we, not Israelites, just mankind, where we invent things, and that's the problem. You know what I mean? It's like people that believe in the Illuminati and things like that. The reason why they like to believe in that is because it's more exciting. Someone telling you, oh, men 4,000 years ago built Stonehenge, it's just not exciting. But when you say giants that God cast down from heaven built Stonehenge, people seem to like that. And that's the problem. You got that for me, Ecclesiasticus 34 and 10.
Ecclesiasticus 34 and 10. Give unto the Most High.
Is that it?
That's 35. 34 and 10. He that have no experience knoweth little.
What did the Bible say?
He that have no experience knoweth little.
So if you got no experience, you know little. Meaning what? If your life is based on YouTube, you know of little, man.
That's right.
Now we have it. Why? Because we did something you did not. We went in our car, filled up the tank, and drove to where is it? Salisbury. We went there and seen Stonehenge, saw the evidence, saw the facts that they do have, and us going there, giants did not make it. It was men, loads of them, had villages, had the houses where they live, man. Why? Because we got that experience. You don't. YouTube isn't experience. Watching Alex Jones isn't experience, man. When you go there and you look at it for yourself, it had nothing to do with fallen angels, which don't exist. It had nothing to do with giants, which don't exist. You know what I mean? It was a simple invention of men. Of course, they was off. It was for their pagan gods and for the people that died. but it has nothing to do with angels. So if you start up above a bit.
Verse 9, a man that have traveled through many things, and he that have much experience will declare wisdom.
And there, a man that traveleth knoweth many things. So this isn't even debatable, man. You did not travel. You stayed on YouTube talking about what you need to do here. You need to watch this video on fallen angels, and you'll see that Stonehenge was made by them. Man can't move stones of that weight. You didn't travel at all. If you did, you would have knew that was a lie. Read on.
And he that have much experience will declare wisdom.
And hang on now. We declare where is them. Why? Because we were there. You can't, because you was not there. You was on YouTube. YouTube ain't experience. We went there. We know how Stonehenge was built. You don't, because you didn't go there. You went on YouTube and believed what someone told you about Stonehenge. Read on.
He that have no experience knoweth little.
What did the Bible say?
He that have no experience knoweth little.
And if you ain't experienced anything, you knoweth little. You knoweth little, man. You're a little man in this, man. We're the big man in this. Why? Because we went there. You're the little man because you didn't want to take some time at your life and drive there and find out. If you believe giants made this, wouldn't you want to see it? Wouldn't you want to jump in that car, go down the M5 and the A417? But you didn't want to do that. Why? Because you know little, man. You're a little man in this. We are the big men, man. Read on.
But he that have traveled is full of prudence.
What did the Bible say?
He that have traveled is full of prudence.
So you are a prudent man when you have traveled about, man. And that's it, man. What's some other things they say that giants made allegedly? I know Stonehenge is one of them, which is a lie. There's some other ones. If you want to write them in or whatever, feel free. But yeah, they say even the Egyptian pyramids, they're made by Anunnakims, these angelic beings. These things are made by man. And people that haven't been there, you'll be forced to believe, some beings out of this world made it. When the truth is, it's made by men. And, people just struggle to accept that. Like, one thing you'll realize is people that want to serve God, it's like as if they need to be entertained. You can't serve God and just go, I'm an Israelite, the white man's the devil, keep these commandments. You gotta know, nah, man, there's angels and there's Star Wars and they made this and they made that and they did this and they did that. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're not entertained, then you can't be serving God. If nothing doesn't match Hollywood, then you ain't serving God. And that's the problem right there. Read on.
When I traveled, I saw many things.
And there, man, when you travel, you see many things. And that's what makes you wiser than someone else. Because you was there. You was there. While as someone who's never been there, you would be forced to believe, that's giants, man. Like, who could have done that? Look at the weight of them rocks. One rock is 8 tons. Man could never move that. Says who? Says who? That's your opinion, but that's not a fact, man. Read on.
When I traveled, I saw many things, and I understand more than I can express.
What did the Bible say?
I can understand more than I can express.
And he understood more than he can express. Meaning what? When he saw things, then he understood. He didn't go on the internet and understand. You understand when you see it, man. And that's why in the UPK, we go all over the UK. And that's why we see many things and understand it. You don't. That's why you don't understand it. That's why you believe in giants and fallen angels and mystical beings, because you don't understand it, man. Read on.
I was oft times in danger of death, yet I was delivered because of these things.
And those were that's going into something else. So let's get Genesis 6, man. You know, this whole fallen angels doctrine, stuff like that. This is what they like to use. So we're going to start off in Genesis 6.
Genesis 6 and 1. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth.
So now, from Genesis 6 and 1, it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth. So, I mean, you know, people are having kids, grandkids, etc., just like today. Read on.
And daughters were born unto them.
Uh-huh.
Then the sons of God saw the daughters of men.
So now, this is what they like to use. They go, the sons of God came unto the daughters of men. So now what they'll give to you is Job 1 and 6. And yes, in Job 1 and 6, the angels are referred to as the sons of God. Yes. Ain't no denying that. Ain't no, you know, they're wrong, they're right. But as we read on, it's going to show you which sons of God Genesis 6 is referring to. Read on.
The sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took their wives of all which they chose.
So now the sons of God saw that the daughters of men, they were fair, meaning nice, like, you know, they took a liking unto them, and they took in wives of these daughters of men. Read on.
And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man.
What did the Bible say?
My spirit shall not always strive with man.
But I thought the sons of God were these angels.
My spirit shall not always strive with man.
There, so hang on. How are these fallen angels coming down, the sons of God, sleeping, having sex with the daughters of men? And now God saying, my spirit shall not strive with men. So what about the angels? If these sons of God, which according to what they say are the angels, then why isn't God angry at them? Why ain't we reading, you know what I mean, my spirit ain't gonna strive with these angels that ain't listened to me, that ain't followed my commandments? It's not saying that, is it? So who are these sons of God? Give me Luke 3 and the last verse.
Luke 3 and 38, which was the son of Enos, the son of Seth, which was the son of Adam, which was the son of God.
So now hang on. In Luke 3, it's letting you know that the people that came from Adam's lineage, they were the sons of God. Adam was the son of God. He had a son called Enos, Seth. So what were they called, man? The sons of God.
That's right.
That's what Genesis 6 is talking about. Meaning the people that came from Adam, direct descendants, they saw the daughters of men. Who are the daughters of men? The other nations, man.
Right.
The other races. And they saw that they were fair. So now this is what God is angry about the people from Adam's line having what we call today interracial relationships, man. That's what Genesis 6 is talking about. Nothing to do with fallen angels and, you know, and what do they call them? Nephilim and all that stuff. It's talking about what we call today interracial relationships. And how do we know? Do the laws of God change at any time? Give me Deuteronomy. What's the one about make no marriages with them? Deuteronomy 6 and 3, 7 and 3, 7 and 3.
Deuteronomy 7 and 3. Neither shall thou make marriages with them.
So now, what's this talking about? The other nations, man. You don't make marriages with them. You don't have sex with them.
That's right.
So this law, it ain't nothing new. In Genesis 6, God's telling the sons of God, the people from Adam, don't have sex with the daughters of men. And they did. And that's why God said, my spirit shall not strive with man. Why? Because God's like, I'm not fighting with man. They know my laws. You come from Adam and look at what you're doing, man. And how do you know that? I believe it's in Genesis 4 about then man began to call upon the name of the Lord. I think it's like Genesis 4 and 1. Oh no, sorry, my bad. Read the rest of Deuteronomy, then we get that one as well.
Deuteronomy 7 and 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son.
So now, a daughter that you have, you can't give unto his son, man. And that's today what? That's a modern day interracial relationship. We are a race of people and we can't mix with no other race.
Like the brother said, he says, sir, what is a Nephilim, sir?
A Nephilim. All right. A Nephilim, they say, is a fallen angel, meaning, again, it's a philosophy. It's not in the Bible. A Nephilim, what they say is, it's a angel that disobeyed the word of God, came down onto earth and had sex. And then their offspring became, giants, and they became what? They became the facts of Greek mythology, half man, half horse, half man, half bird, and things like that. So, that's what they say. And of course, it's not in the Bible. I believe the word is in the Bible, but the understanding they have, that is not in the Bible at all. So the word Nephilim just means a giant. But again, because of that doctrine they have, they interpretate that as, angels came down, giants were on the earth, when that's not the understanding of the Bible. You got the definition, or?
Napolia, a feather that is a bully.
That is a what?
A bully.
A bully. That's all it means. Someone that is a bully. That's all it's saying. Has nothing to do with someone being 20 feet high. You know what I mean? You mean that having to be so tall like your house? That has nothing to do with nothing, man. And again, many people don't look up definitions of words. So when they go giant, oh, no. You know what I mean? See, it's talking about the fallen angels. And no, it's not, man. Now, we're going to get it also for you out of the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Sir. So when we get it, we're going to show you also in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary that even by definition, it's not saying what they're saying. Read that for me.
Nephilim, a term when the giants in the King James Bible, describing a certain antediluvians and aboriginal dwellers of Canaan. They are identified as the sons of Anak, though no direct trace of a people of an abnormal structure have been discovered.
And there you go. Even in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, they're letting you know no remains of a abnormal structure has been discovered, man. Meaning, no one's never found any remains, any what do you call it? Any remains of someone of an abnormal structure. So no one's never found a head that's abnormally big. No one's never found legs or a skeleton that is abnormal. No one's never found it. Read on.
There is ample evidence as to the underlying tradition. One should reject.
One should do what?
Reject the view that they were angelic fallen beings.
There you go. And imagine that. Even the so-called white man, even he knows by evidence that one should reject that these are fallen angels or angelic human beings, meaning there's no remains of them. And even by definition, that if you're looking for understanding, you would reject of these angelical beings, man. You would reject it, man. You wouldn't believe that. You wouldn't understand this book, the Bible, and believe that, you know, these angelic beings came down and they tampered with the DNA of mankind. So yeah, things like Zeus and that, you know, people try to use Genesis 6 and try to use the Bible to justify these philosophies. No, so I got here. All right, let's get the one about with Adam. He had the law. I believe it's like Genesis 4 or 5. About then man began to call upon the name of the Lord. What's that? Let's grab that. So let's get Genesis 4 and 26.
Genesis 4:26. And to Seth, to him also was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord.
There's now you start, but it doesn't mention Adam there.
Verse 25. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth.
Okay, so now we know that with Adam, he had the law. In Genesis 3, when it says he breathed the breath of life into him, that's the laws, statutes, and commandments, man. So now with Adam, he knew his wife Eve, and she born again and had Seth. Read on.
For God said, he have appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. And to Seth, to him there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord.
So let me see who's thinking online. Why does it say, then men began to call upon the name of the Lord? Let me see who's thinking. I'll give you a minute. All right, you got 30 seconds.
They did it before?
No. All right. For time's sake, why did it say then men began to call upon the name of the Lord? Why? Because with Adam, he has descendants that are also following his law. That's why men began to call upon the name of the Lord. Seth comes from Adam, who had the law. Enos comes from Seth, who comes from Adam, who had the law. So he taught Seth the law. Seth taught Enos the law. And that's how men began to call upon the name of the law, name of the Lord. So with that being said, what law would they have had? Remember now about the class, Genesis 6:1. What law would these men and their descendants, what law would they have had? Uh, 30 seconds.
It was told by them, no man with man.
That's true, but on what we're talking about right now, remember what we read in Genesis 6 and in Deuteronomy. So what law would they had? For time's sake, don't have sex outside your race. So let's get back to Genesis 6.
Genesis 6:1, and it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose.
So now we've established who the sons of God are. We've established that the sons of God are the people that descend from Adam. The daughters of men were the other nations, the other races. They took them, they thought they were fair. We read in Deuteronomy about not having a marriage outside your race, aka interracial relationship. And we knew that the people of Adam's line had the law. So we know that they had a law against having sex outside your race. And we're going to read on and let you know that these sons of God is talking about the descendants of Adam. Read on.
And the Lord said, my spirit will not always strive with man.
What did the Bible say?
My spirit will not always strive with man.
And that's how you know angels haven't got anything to even do with this. Because remember, the Lord's angry about what's going on and never mentions an angel once, man. Never mentions angels coming down and messing with mankind once. It said, my spirit shall not strive with man. Meaning this is a manly thing. This is a earthly thing. This is a fleshly thing. Read on.
For he is also flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years.
Read on.
There were giants in the earth in those days.
There were what?
Giants in the earth in those days.
So now, what does that mean? There were giants in the earth in those days. Is that talking about literal giants? Is that talking about literal giants? Now, have in mind, we read the definition of the word giant in the Hebrew, which is where you get the word Nephilim from. So, what does it mean by there were giants in those days? All right, for time's sake, as I said, the word, it can mean a tyrant, a a bully, and that's all it means. Meaning, back in them days, there were men of renown, men that you wouldn't mess with in them days. So as we mess with the daughters of men, some of their kids became giants. Some of their kids became men of renown, men that you wouldn't mess with. That's all it's saying. Read on.
And also after
that. So hang on. If giants are around in this time, then why is it saying also after that? Meaning the same way there's giants then, there's giants now. Meaning there's people that you don't mess with. There's people that have a name for themselves. That's all it's saying. The same way it was back then, even after that, meaning even right now. Read on.
God, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men.
And the same became mighty men, just like today. Some people become mighty men. Some people become warriors. That's what a mighty man is. You're just talking about what happened in that history. But when people try to, be too deep and try to look in stuff like, look, they became mighty men. Hercules, Zeus, you know what I mean? And it's not saying that. Read on.
Men of renown, and God saw that the wickedness of man was great.
The wickedness of who?
Man.
No, man. These fallen angels.
Man was great in the earth.
There you go. That's self-explanatory. God saw that the wickedness of man, never said angels, never said Hercules and Zeus and the mess in my earth. He says when he saw the wickedness of man, showing you that it's got nothing to do with angels and Nephilim and giants. This is a manly thing. Read on.
Wickedness of man was great in the earth, that every imagination of his thoughts, of his heart, was only evil continually. And he repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth. All
right, and that word repented, it doesn't mean the Lord felt bad that he made man. You look it up, it means he's sidelight. Like, when you sidelight, I can't believe you, man. Like, look at what you're doing. It don't mean he repented, like, why did I make man? Why is man doing this? I mean, you can look it up. It means to sigh, like you look down upon, like, what are you like doing, man? I gave you like my law, and you're sleeping with the daughters of men. You're trying to be like the heathen, and the Lord sighed at us. Read on. Or if you got the definition on it.
And it grieved him in his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created.
What did the Bible say?
I will destroy man whom I have created.
And to be fair, that's very self-explanatory. No one shouldn't even have to go past this. No one shouldn't have to even be talking about that's angels when it's mentioning man. I will destroy man, the mind of man. That's self-explanatory, but there's one in Job. To get that, 1 second. I'll get it. It's in the book of Job. Job 22 and 16. Job 22 and 16.
Job 22 and 16. which were cut down out of time.
So okay, you start at verse 15 just to set the scene.
Hast thou marked the old way which wicked men have trodden?
So now hang on. In the book of Job, you know, they're having a debate going back and forth. And it says, hast thou marked the old way which wicked men have walked, man? So what old way is he talking about before the flood? It's talking about a time in the past where wicked men walked. Read on.
Which were cut down out of time.
Which were cut down out of time. What does it mean to be cut down? It means dead. You know what I mean? So saying that these men which died out of time, read on.
Whose foundation was overflown with a flood.
It was overthrown with what?
With a flood.
It was what?
Overflown with a flood.
And there, man. Again, Job's talking about Genesis 6. I didn't see angels in there not once, man. These wicked men were overthrown in a flood. Not angels, not fallen angels, not these celestial beings, all that stuff. You're talking about these men were overthrown in a flood, man. Meaning the flood just killed men. Is there an articles? Oh, no. All right, no sweat. Read on in Job.
God, which were cut down out of time, whose foundation was overthrown with a flood, which said unto God, depart from us.
And what did these men in Genesis 6 say?
Depart from us.
And there, man, they didn't want to know God. The sons of God didn't want to know God. They wanted just to mix with the daughters of men. And they said, you know, to the Lord, depart from us. You know what I mean? That's self-explanatory right there. So how can people claim, you know, in the Bible there's fallen angels and these beings? I'll say this for it. You know what I mean? You won't find it in the Bible, not one place, man. You know what I mean? Huh? Then I'm good. I've said flair. Trying to eat and teach at the same time. It's not working. All right. But yeah, you know, but the point being is, you know what I mean? Job is talking about that same time and never mentioned angels once. Never spoke about these so-called Nephilim fallen angel beings once, man. So it shows you that it's a lie. It's not biblical. Many people that get these doctrines, it comes from heretic books. Heretic meaning with the church or, you know, the Israelites, they never accepted them books. They knew that them books weren't right. And, you know, in them books, they talk about, you know, angels and, you know, men with wings and stuff like that. While as the Bible doesn't say that at all, man. Yeah, let's go back to Genesis 6.
Genesis 6.
It was about 4 or 5.
And God saw the Genesis 6 and 5. And God saw the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of his thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
So why was our thoughts evil all the time? Because we didn't want to know God, man.
That's right.
Like what it said in Job, which said to God, depart from us, man. So that's what made our hearts or our minds evil continually. Why? Because we didn't want to know God. We were too busy to trying to live our life, trying to mix with the daughters of men, trying to do what trying to take part in what the daughters of men did. Read on.
Verse 6. And he repented to the Lord that he made man on the earth, and it grieved him in his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth.
So now God's saying, you know, I'm going to destroy man off the face of the earth. And as you know, Noah's Ark, the flood, we've done a lecture on it. So, you know, because again, this goes into, did the flood really happen? and it did happen. We did a lecture. Lecture proves Noah's Ark. Every empire, every nation talks of a flood, talks about animals going on this ark. You know what I mean? We did a lecture about 3 years ago, 3 to 4 years ago. So on YouTube, I.S.U.P.K, United Kingdom, you know what I mean? Just look it up. The lectures there, you know what I mean? So we got that. So we got the history side of it also as well. Read on.
Both man and beast and creeping thing and the fowls of the air. For it have repented me that I have made them.
Yeah, read on. Okay.
But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Most High.
So now, of course, you know, one man and his family, they went on the ark. I mean, they found grace in the sight of the Most High. Hand me a pocket for a second. There's another one showing you that the flood only was for man. No angels, no, you know, no Raphael coming down and doing something it shouldn't be doing. All right, yeah, it's Ecclesiasticus 40. Start from verse 1. And so read verse 1 first. And I got here. So start from verse 1, then you can skip to verse 8. If you want to read it from here, you could.
So 40, Ecclesiasticus 40:1. Great travail is created for every man.
So now great travail is created for every man. What is travail? Pain. Just in a great pain is upon every man. Why? Because in Genesis 3, what was the curse of Adam? That, you know, he would have to work for everything. And obviously us being descendants of him, great travail is upon every man. But now, you know, before everything would just grow itself, we have to now work underground. We have to now do that work, while as it wasn't always like that. So great travail is upon every man. Read on.
And a heavy yoke is upon the sons of Adam.
And a heavy yoke is upon who?
The sons of Adam.
Is upon the sons of Adam. Now keep that in mind. Like what we read in Genesis about the sons of Adam, the sons of God. Skip to verse 8. 8 was it?
Verse 8. Such things happen unto all flesh, both man and beast, and that is sevenfold more upon sinners.
So now, with death, it happens to everyone, but for someone who sins, a sinner that doesn't follow God's law, they get it double. Read on.
Death and bloodshed and strife and sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and scourge.
So now, all these things are for people that don't follow God's law. But let's see what else happened to a people that didn't follow God's law in the past. Read on.
These things are created for the wicked,
and
for their sakes came the flood.
And for the wicked sake came what?
The flood.
There. So the flood came upon wicked men. And this guy, Sirach, I mean, that's the writer of the book Ecclesiasticus. He's giving us a history lesson right here And what's the history lesson? That the flood came upon wicked men, not angels, not, these mystical beings that did this, and that. This flood came upon sinners, wicked men that didn't want to follow God. Simple, plain, man. Let's get the other one about the angels in chains of darkness in Jude. So what we're getting now is another verse they would like to go to. So we're going to get the book of Jude. It's like 1 and 10 or something like that.
Jude 1 and 6. And the angels which kept not their first estate.
All right, so now people read this and go, the angels that kept not their first estate. So again, people that believe that whole fallen angel doctrine, what would they say? Look, those angels that kept not their first estate. And then, they'll refer you to heretic books that ain't even biblically based, books that when you open up the introduction page, they'll tell you they're false. So they use this and go, the angels that kept not their first estate. So anyone online, what is this verse truly talking about? All right, give me Psalms. We're gonna go back to Jude. But give me Psalms 103 and 20.
Psalms 103 and 20.
So we're gonna show you what these angels are in the book of Jude, or matter of fact, who these angels are in the book of Jude. Read that for me.
Bless the Lord, ye his angels.
So it says, bless the Lord, ye his angels. Read on.
That excel in strength
to
do his commandments, hearkening unto his voice of his word.
And now who does that? We do, man. Israelites. We are the angels. We hearken unto God's voice and do his word on the earth. That's the angels that the book of Jude is talking about. Israelites, man. We are the angels that the book of Jude is talking about. We hearken unto his voice and do his commandments. Any more on that? All right, so let's get back to Jude.
Jude 1 and 6. And the angels which kept not their first estate.
So now we established who the angels are. So the angels that kept not their first estate. What was our first estate? The land of Israel, man. Keeping God's laws. That's our habitation. That's our estate. And we kept it not. What did we do? Want to be like the heathens, man. You read Ezekiel 20 and 10 about that which is in your mind shall not be at all, that ye say we will be as the heathens to serve wood and stone. That's always been the Israelites' issue, man. We want to be like the other nations. And that's how we got kicked out of our first estate. That's why God kicked us out of our homeland for leaving our estate to be like the heathens. Reader.
But left their own habitation, he have preserved in everlasting chains under darkness.
And because we left our first habitation, we are left in everlasting chains of darkness, man. Now, with these chains, what is it talking about? Christianity, man. Islam. That's a chain on black people that you can't break out of, man. You know what I mean? The chain is so strong. Even when you tell a black man, listen, man, that Bible's talking about you. What does the Israelite say? God loves everyone. The Bible ain't just talking about me. This Bible's talking about everyone. That's a chain right there, man. When the same book they claim they read is talking about them, and you would rather deny it because we want to be like the heathen. That's an everlasting chain of darkness right there, man. In the mosque, even in the Quran, it mentions Israelites more than Muhammad. That's a fact. It's got Jew, Israelite more than Muhammad. Do you want to know how many times Muhammad is even mentioned in the book? 4 times, man. The last messenger is only in the Quran 4 times, but you find Israelite Jews countless times more than Muhammad. And when you tell a black man, look, man, you know, why are we following Islam? And look, like Muhammad is more concerned with the Israelites. Like, you know what I mean? Wouldn't you want to follow the people that Muhammad is writing of? No, man, there's one last prophet, Muhammad, and no one but Allah. That's a chain of darkness right there, man. And God said, because we left our first habitation, we will stay in everlasting chains of darkness. And we see it in Birmingham. We see it in London. We see it in Mosside in Manchester, Toxteth in Liverpool. Wherever we are, our people are always in everlasting chains of darkness. Read on.
God. And okay. Unto the judgment of the great day.
Unto the judgment of the great day. Meaning there's some people the Lord will leave in those chains till it's judgment day, to when Christ returns. And of course, there's people that the Lord wakes up. You know what I mean? And again, if you don't believe me about these chains of darkness, all throughout the Bible, when it talks about Israelites being lost, it always uses darkness. Give me Deuteronomy 28 about groping in darkness. Just give you another one in case, you know, someone thinks I'm making it up. About 29, Deuteronomy 28 and like 29 about grope.
28 and 29.
Was that right? Oh, jeez.
And thou shalt grope at noonday as a blind gropeth through darkness.
So again, this is a curse right here. And God's saying again, for not following his laws, we would grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness. So meaning when there's light, as a blind man, you know, he gropes around, holds on the wall, the table, you know, trying to find his way. Even when there's light, we would be searching, we will be feeling around. And how does this apply? You know what I mean? Meaning the light is out there, the I.S.U.P.K, we're out there, and no one can see it, man. We have the answers to every black problem that we have. And because of the darkness and us feeling around, we just don't see it, man. We're in the church not seeing that Christianity is a slave religion, man. We're in the mosque not knowing that Islam is a slave religion. And that's us groping at noonday as a blind man will grope in darkness. So in Jude, it's saying pretty much the same thing. Because we don't want to serve the Lord, we're left in dark ignorance, if that's another way of saying it. We're left searching. We're left chained to religions, to ideology, to philosophy. Read on.
And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways.
And we won't prosper in our ways, meaning we join Islam, we don't prosper in our ways. We join the church, we don't prosper in our ways, man. Black people join Islam by the thousands, and none of us prosper in our ways, man. What are we left doing? Selling drugs. What are we left doing? Shooting guns. But are you a part of it? No, we're not, man. And God's saying, because we don't want to serve him, we're going to try, we're going to grope, we're going to feel around to try and find the answer. And you won't even prosper in the answer that you think you found. We won't prosper in the answer that we think we even have, man. That's why on Netflix, there's a documentary I'm going to watch called Who Shot Malcolm X? What's it called? Who Killed Malcolm X? And again, that shows that we don't prosper in our ways and we are groping around as the blind gropeth in darkness, man. You know what I mean? How are we going to follow a religion that is known for enslaving black people for over 1,000 years, man? Went into Africa, down there, enslaved everyone, man. Enslaved Israelites, enslaved Africans, enslaved Ottoman Turks, enslaved white people that they was at war against. You know what I mean? They damn near enslaved everybody. And there we are about the Nation of Islam. That's people that it's noonday and they're groping around like how a blind man gropes in darkness, man. And look, was that the answer? Who killed Malcolm X? Another black man that followed Islam. He had a shotgun on him, shot Malcolm X point blank, and they both served the same God, man. That's how we don't prosper in our ways. Showing you, although we join something, although we think we found something, it's anti-black and it destroys black people. And that's why we don't prosper in our ways, man. Read on.
And thou shalt only be oppressed and spoiled evermore.
And because we don't prosper in our ways from trying to find the answer, we would only be oppressed and spoiled forevermore, man. I mean, all we're going to get is oppression and being spoiled every time. Same examples. We've been in the church, and under that religion, they've robbed us blind, man. They've built England off what? Christianity. You know what I mean? They had us working in the West Indies, telling you that we are 3/5 of a man of what religion? Christianity. We get oppressed and spoiled evermore, man. We join Islam, and what happens, man? You get called Kala, Shidi, Abid. You know what I mean? What's the other one with a K? A Kafa. So we get oppressed and spoiled evermore. Although you're in this religion, there's a video. What's that guy's name? He kissed a man on Hollyoaks back in the day. Sarah. I don't know if you see the video. It's like a 15-minute video. And he said it, he goes, you know what I mean? Why is it, many people talk about Islam's a religion of love, peace. Meanwhile, you was to go into the Middle East right now. You was to go into Northern Africa where, Arabs rule. Mauritania, Morocco, Libya, Egypt. They call black people what? Abid, Kafa, and many names. Meanwhile, the Arabs here try to lie to you like, nah, man, my religion is peace. You come to Morocco, they'll love you. No, they would not. That's not true, man. That's further from the truth right there. You'll be racially abused to your departure flight, man. And that's the thing. We get oppressed and spoiled always, man. Read on.
And no man shall save thee.
And no man can save us, man. No man can save us. Why? Because they're going to be teaching slave religions. They're going to be teaching you Rastafarianism. They're going to be teaching you Islam and Christianity, Seventh-day Adventist, Jehovah Witness. And that's why no one can't save us. You can't set someone free with a oppressive religion. I'm trying to set you free with a religion that keeps you enslaved. It doesn't make sense. That's why we would always be oppressed, and no man can save us. Read on.
Thou shalt betroth a wife.
All right, no. So that's it on that. So let's get back to Jude.
Jude.
I think it was 1 and 10 or something. No?
Jude 1 and 10. But these, no, 1 and 6.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
No.
Okay, so now just the chains of darkness part. So I just to back door.
And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains unto darkness.
There, so it left them in everlasting chains unto darkness, showing you that darkness is, us being in religion, philosophy, not finding our God and finding the answers that we need, man. What's the other one in Numbers about the people as grasshoppers? It's like Numbers 26 or something like that.
Numbers 13 and 33. And there we saw the giant, the sons of Anak.
All right, so for time's sake, just set the scene like when they went to scout the land and all that stuff.
And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, let us go up at once and possess it.
So now this man, Caleb, he calmed the people. He's like, let us take that land. But there's some men, they were afraid. So I'll set some of the scene for you. So some men, they were afraid. So this man, he was courageous in the Lord. He knew that the Lord could deliver these nations into our hands. While as the other people, the other scoutsmen, they got afraid. They saw the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Jebusites, the Amorites, organized armor, soldiers, high walls, you know what I mean? And they got scared. Read on.
God, let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it. But the men that went up with him said, we be not able to go up against the people.
So now these men, they got scared. They saw them how they lived, you know what I mean? A city that has high walls, you know what I mean? Body armor, greaves, you know what I mean? Weapons made out of some nice iron, nice, you know what I mean? Some nice metallurgy. While as us Israelites, where was we? In the wilderness, man. With machetes and very basic weapons. When you do the archaeology, where you can read like biblical history books. And what they say is at this time, when we was wandering around in the wilderness, we had very basic weapons like machete type weapons, while as the Canaanites, Amorites, they had swords, man. You know what I mean? Swords that had that hard iron that don't break and things like that. So these men, they're scared, like, nah, like my machete can't go against that 6-foot sword and his body armor and his greaves and his helmet. Like you know what? I know the Lord parted the Red Sea, but to do that, I'm not sure. And the other 11 men, they got scared. Read on.
We be not able to go against the people, for they are stronger than we.
And keep that in mind now. Keep that. That's the emphasis right there. Those people are stronger than we. So these men are afraid. They're like, nah, the Canaanites, the Amorites, the Hittites, the Jebusites, they're stronger than we. Like, we scouted the land and they are strong, man. Got loads of numbers, body armor, helmets, greaves, horses, chariots with those spikes on the side of the wheel. Like, yeah, I don't know if we can do that, man. Read on.
And they brought up an evil report of the land.
They did what?
Brought up an evil report of the land.
So now have in mind, these men are scared, and because they're afraid, they brought up a evil report on the land. You know what I mean? Now, these things that when people try to say this is Nephilims and fallen angels, they're missing out key words right here, man. They're missing out on the emphasis that these were men that were afraid, and they were so afraid they would bring up an evil report on the land. Because was the land bad? No, it wasn't. The land was a nice land. They even got some of the fruit of the land. It was a plenteous land. But because they were afraid, they brought up a evil report on that land. Read on.
And they brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched unto the children of Israel. Saying, the land through which we have gone to search, it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof.
So now, what land eateth up the inhabitants thereof, man? You know what I mean? These men are scared, and what are they trying to do? Trying to convince the people, don't fight them. Because they're scared, they want everybody else to be scared with them. So that land eats up its inhabitants. Like, what land eats up inhabitants? What? Some mysterious thing just comes out the floor and eats them up. Some plant just opens its mouth and swallows them. No. These men are saying this because they're afraid, and they're trying to convince the rest of the Israelites that, listen, don't go there. This land, it eats up its inhabitants. You know what I mean? We shouldn't take this land. We shouldn't have to fight the Hittites, the Jebusites, the Canaanites, the Amorites, the Hittites, man. Read on.
And all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature.
Men of great stature. What is stature? Height. So they're saying that these men are very tall. And is it far-fetched? No, it's not. Africans, not every African, of course, but if you go to the south parts of Africa, where you got the Maasai tribe and many tribes that haven't been colonized, and they are very tall. We're talking about 8 feet, 9 feet, and I'm not making it up. You know what I mean? I hate to say it, but my dad, he's been to Africa many times. West Africa, South Africa, Zimbabwe, East Africa. And he'll tell you, around that region, them Africans get very tall, man. I mean, ridiculously tall to you. Like, is he eating something I'm not? You know what I mean? Tall and skinny, man. So over here, it's saying, like, these men, they're very tall. Read on.
And there we saw giants, sons of Anak, which come of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers. So
now it says we were in their sight as grasshoppers. Now, does this mean they were literally that tall? Let's find out. Any more on that before I get the precept to go with it? No. All right, let's get Numbers 14, 14, and 37.
Numbers 14, 37. Even those men that did bring up the evil report unto the land died by the plague before the Lord.
So start a few verses above.
I, the Lord, have said, I will surely do unto all this evil congregation that gathered together against me in the wilderness. They shall be consumed, and there they shall die.
There's now the Lord's talking to the Israelites. Why? Because we would not listen. To where we provoke the Lord that much, is saying, listen, every one of you here, you're going to die. But their descendants, they're going to inherit the land of Israel. But those adults standing there, all of them died. Read on.
And the men which Moses sent to search the land, who returned and made all the congregation murmur against him by bringing up a slander.
By bringing up a what?
Slander.
And if you don't believe me, look up that word slander. It means a lie. So meaning everything they said, it was a lie. Like, what land eateth up inhabitants? This ain't Jurassic Park, you know what I mean? Where some plants eating somebody. All that was a slander. It was a lie. Because the men were scared. So these sons of Anak being as grasshoppers in their sight, that's a lie. They wasn't literally grasshoppers in their sight. These men were that scared to go and fight and get the land. They lied to the people. They lied like, nah, look how big they are. We can't beat them. We can't fight with them. Why? Because they were afraid, man. And when you're afraid, you know what I mean? Some people fight what they are afraid of, and some people just fold. And that's what those 11 men did, man. They didn't believe in the power of the Lord, and they saw them, you know, with their armor, with their horses, the chariots, and got scared and told lies, saying that the land eateth up its inhabitants, and the sons of Anak were like grasshoppers in our sight, meaning like the sons of Anak are like this big, we're like that small. And of course, no one isn't that big. As what we read in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, no remains have been found, man. No one with an abnormal structure has been discovered. Why? Because the Bible ain't talking about that. Read on.
Even those men that did bring up the evil report upon the land died by the plague.
And they died by the plague also as well, man. So the Lord got them that brought that evil report. But the point being is that report was a slander. It wasn't true. Some people go, yeah, but let's read Numbers 13. They wasn't literally as grasshoppers in their sight. These men were scared, and they were trying to say anything to make the Israelites not go and get the land because they saw it and they were scared. Remember, it says they were of a great stature. I mean, they were very tall. Now, you know, the average man is 6 foot, 5'10", 5'9". A shorter man is like, you know, 5'6", 5'4". But the average height for a man is from 5'8" to 6 foot. So when you got a nation of Africans all 7 foot, 8 foot, 9 foot, you know what I mean? If you don't believe in the Lord, you would be scared. If you don't believe in the Lord, you would bring a slander upon a land that you're meant to take because you don't believe in the power of the Lord. Despite how big they are, look what the Lord done for the Israelites. Parted the Red Sea, delivered them out of Egypt, and time to get a land. Nah, I'm scared. Nah, man. Them Annex, they're just too tall, man. Nah, look at them. Look how big is in that armor, man. Shit, like, oh gosh, I'm dead, man. And also, too, in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, it goes into the Amorites and it lets you know they were very tall, according to archaeology, very tall and very broad as well, man. So Amorites were very huge Africans, along with Canaanites. They were known for being very big. You know what I mean? So obviously on face value, seeing them like, you sure we can win this? You sure we're going to take the land of Israel? You know what I mean? Looking kind of big over there. But with the power of the Lord, that's what we did, man. In the book of Joshua, read on.
But Joshua, the son of Nun, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, which were of the men that went to search out the land, live still.
And they live still. Why did they live? Because they served the Lord, man. They didn't let fair ear get into them. They didn't lie to the rest of the Israelites, saying that we cannot take this land. You know what I mean? Like the officer read already, they were like, we can take it. We can possess that land. We can do it. But those 11 other men, they got scared like, nah, we can't do that. Nah, man, you know, look at them. And so that's what that is talking about, not literal grasshoppers in the sight. Just, you know what I mean? They were so afraid. They were trying to convince the rest of the Israelites, listen, just don't do it, man. Don't do it. Look how big they are. Give the one in Luke 10 about Satan falling down from the sky. I believe it's Luke 10 and 18. I got anything online?
Luke 10:18. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven.
So again, this is another verse. Again, people like to use for fallen angels. I beheld Satan falling down as lightning from heaven. There you go. You see, that's the fallen angels with Satan coming down. Then they refer you to, a heretic book called the Book of Enoch and try link the two. When this is not what it's talking about. Start from verse 1, then we'll break it down.
After these things, the Lord appointed other 70 also, and sent them 2 by 2 before his face.
Okay, so before there was only 12 disciples. When you read in the Bible, there was many more. So, the more they didn't understand, the more they left. When Christ, eat my flesh and all that, many men left like, I don't know what he's talking about. You know what I mean? So eventually, Christ only ended up with 12 disciples. But before, Christ had many, thousands at one point. Then over here, it's how much? 70. But you know what I mean? He did start with more, but the more they couldn't understand him, more left, till he only ended up with 12 disciples, which we read about, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, sons of Zebedee, and etc. Read on.
And sent them 2 by 2 before his face into every city and every place whither he himself would come.
So now Christ sent the men out to do the work, to preach, cast out demons, wake up the dead. Freely you received, freely give. Like what you read in the book of Matthew, it's just giving you the same thing. Read on.
Therefore said he unto them, the harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few.
So now it's saying, listen, man, the harvest is great, man. There's many Israelites out there, but the laborers are few. Meaning, although there's you lot here, really we need so much more, man. Although it's thankful for the many had, is like the harvest is plenty, man. Like there's so much, but the people that want to do the work, they are few, man. That's why you in the UPK, you're valuable, man, because the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. There's only so many people that want to do this work. Many people would rather just join the church so they don't have to do nothing. Many people would rather become a part of the local mosque so they don't have to do nothing. Many people would rather be a rasta and smoke weed all day so you don't have to do nothing. So you don't have to work for Christ, man. You don't have to labor in the name of the Lord. You rather just do something else to not be a hard worker, man. Read on.
Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest that he will send forth laborers into his harvest.
So he's saying, listen, man, you lot better pray to the Lord that he sends more men, because there's lots of work to do, and the manpower just isn't enough. Read on.
Go your ways. Behold, I send you forth as lambs amongst wolves.
So he's saying it sends us as lambs among wolves, meaning who is the lamb? We are, man. And again, Officer Karafi said this one time. People look at us and think we're the wolf when we're the lamb, man. We love you. We tell you who you are out of love. We follow these laws that pertain to how we deal with you. We're the lamb and you're the wolf, man. You would lie to us. You would rob us. We wouldn't do it to you.
That's right.
You know what I mean? People go, them UPK guys, I wouldn't trust none of them. Listen, you should. Why? Because we wouldn't lie to you. We wouldn't rob from you. We wouldn't molest your kids. We wouldn't try to have sex with your wife. Meanwhile, in the church, that pastor's a wolf, man. That vicar, he's a wolf. That deacon, he's a wolf. That imam, that sheikh, they're wolves. We are not wolves. We are the lamb, man. And Christ said, listen, I send you out as lambs among wolves. And that's key, man. You know what I mean? That this work that we do, we're the people that show love. We're the people that care. And even though you have that, you got to be careful, man. Because we are among wolves. We are among people that would try and take advantage if we were soft. Try and take advantage if we allow them to. Read on.
Go your way, behold, the city of the lamb among wolves. Carry neither purse, nor scrip, nor shoes. Salute no man by the way.
So it's saying basically, you know what I mean, don't carry anything. And again, in the Bible, the reason why the disciples didn't have to carry anything, because with Yahushua, or Jesus Christ, as some people may know him, he was with them and the Lord was with him. So they was looked after. The Lord made sure they was safe. They was fed. They had everything. But when Christ left, what did he say? You know what I mean, if you need a sword, sell your garment and get one. Now you're going to have to protect yourself because Christ won't be there. Read on.
And into whosoever house ye enter, first say peace be to this house. And if the son of peace be there, your peace shall rest upon it.
So while they're traveling, doing this work, you mean what it say? Let the peace be in this house. Meaning you go there, it looks like to follow the laws. Peace to it, like, you know what I mean? Shalom, everyone, peace. And you see if the Lord is there. Read on.
If not, it shall turn to you again, and in the same house remain, eating and drinking such things as they give.
There, so saying, if you go in his house, people follow the law, not eating pork, not celebrating Christmas, then you stay in that house while you do the work of the Lord in that village, in that town. So keep in mind, the context of Luke 10 is about doing the work, man. What is teaching his disciples? Read on.
For the laborer is worthy of his hire.
For the laborer is worthy of his hire, meaning you are worth to be in that house. You are worth to get fed. You are worth to be looked after. Why? Because you're worthy of your hire, man. When we get black people off drugs, we are worthy of our hire, man. When we get black people to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, we are worthy of the hire. Pay your tithes, man. Right. We're worthy of the hire. You mean everyone talking about, I don't know, paying tithes, money. And listen, if we helped you, you better pay tithes. Why? Because we're worthy of our hire, man. When we're helping you, you know what I mean, for you to pay 10%, that's nothing, man. Read on.
Go not from house to house.
So meaning go not from house to house, meaning you found one house in that town, stay there, man. Don't go from house to house. I got some food here. I feel a little bit hungry. You know what? I'm going to go to this house and, get their rice and fish. And then, go to this house, get their soup. You say, nah, you stay in one house, man. Don't come across as a, what's the name for them? As like you're licky, like, you're all over the place trying to get a piece out of everyone's house. You found one house, peace is there, stay there. Read on.
And into whatsoever city ye shall enter, and they shall receive you. Eat such things that are set before you.
There, so you go to a place and they receive you, they're listening. Eat what's before you, man. Eat with them. Why? So you can reach out to them. Read on.
And heal the sick that are therein.
And heal the sick. Read on.
And say unto them, the kingdom of God is nigh unto you. But into whatsoever city ye enter, and they receive you not, go your way out into the street.
It's like, so if you go to a place and they receive you not, meaning they're not listening, they can't stand you, then just leave. You know what I mean? If we go to a place and the people ain't receiving us, what do? We go somewhere else, man. If we was to go to the Birmingham High Street and no one's receiving us, we shouldn't be there anymore. If we was to go to the Brixton High Street and we wasn't received, we wouldn't be there no more. Christ told his disciples, if you go somewhere and they're not receiving you, stop preaching there, man. I mean, don't waste your time on people that ain't listening. Don't waste your time in a place where people ain't listening. Read on.
Even the very dust of the city, which cleaveth unto us, we do wipe off against you.
There, so in the book of Matthew 10, when it says, shake the dust off thy feet, Luke is wording it differently, but it's saying the same thing, meaning even the sand of that place, it's not even worthy to be on your feet, man. You deny this word. Even the dust of that town, that village, it's not even worthy to be on my feet, man, because they denied the word of the Lord. Read on.
Notwithstanding, be ye sure of this.
Meaning, be sure, meaning don't just abandon it because, you can't be asked. Be sure of this, like, if you shake the dust off your feet saying we're never coming back there, just be sure of it. Read on.
That the kingdom of God is come nigh unto you. But I say unto you that it shall be more tolerable in the day of Sodom than for that city.
There's any city that denies this, you're gonna get destroyed, man. Meaning it was more better for Sodom and Gomorrah than that city right there, man. Read on.
Woe unto you, Chorazin! Woe unto thee, Bethsaida! For if the mighty works had been done in Tyre and Zidon, which have been done in you, they had great while ago repented.
There, so it's saying, woe unto them. So meaning, with Christ and his disciples, there were some towns they went to and they rejected them. So saying, woe unto you, man. If I would have taught this to Tyre and Zidon, which are non-Israelite towns, they would have repented. And here I am, well, Christ is with his disciples, and you ain't listening. Destruction unto you. That's what woe means. Read on.
Sitting in sackcloth and ashes, but it shall be more tolerable for Tyre and Zidon at judgment than for you. And thou, Capernaum, which are exalted to heaven, thou shalt thrust down to hell.
So again, another place went to, rejected him, saying, woe unto you too. Read on.
He that heareth you heareth me, and he that despiseth you despiseth me.
All right, no. So let's get to verse 18 now. So remember now, we've set the scene. It's about his disciples preaching the instructions, people that didn't listen. So skip to verse 18.
And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven.
So start from the verse above, verse 17.
Verse 16, verse 17. And the 70 returned again with joy.
So now, hang on. The disciples returned with joy. So there was healing the sick, preaching, following Christ's instructions. Read on.
Saying, Lord, even the devils are subject unto us.
Even the devils are subject unto us. Meaning anyone that has a demon in them, they're subject unto us. Meaning we get them out of people, man. We get that weed demon out of people. Right. We get that porn demon out of people. Right. We get that whoremonger demon out of people. Right. We get that homosexual demon out of people. So his disciples are like, yo, like, look what we're doing. These demons are subject unto us. We tell them, get out of someone. That's what they do, man. Read on.
Through thy name. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven.
There, so what does that mean? Meaning they come back like, look what you're doing. With Christ, like, damn, this kingdom's gonna fall quick, man. Who's Satan? The white man. That's right. AKA the Romans. If you lot keep doing this, damn, Satan's gonna fall like lightning from heaven, meaning his empire is going to come down. It's got nothing to do with fallen angels. They were preaching and they come back with joy. Like, look what we're doing. Saying, damn, like, you lot keep doing that, Satan's going to fall from heaven, man. Our adversary, that's what the word Satan means. All it means is adversary. And who was the adversary at that time? The Roman Empire. And he said, damn, you keep doing this. Basically, I'll do in layman's term, Rome's going to fall nice and quick, man. That's what Christ was saying, man. It's got nothing to do with fallen angels and Satan fell from heaven. It wouldn't even make sense. So the disciples came to him, we did this. Satan just fell from heaven. Like, it don't even make sense. Reading comprehension 101, man. You know what I mean? So with that, I'm handing over to priest and officer of 5,000, Karafia.
I.S.U.P.K security announcements. Where the I.S.U.P.K started out 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yahanna. Rule for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to the brother or sister. There is another 6 months which the brother and sister will call each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10. In the 10th in the Hebrew Ma'ashara, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or the teacher. Priest fund, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you like to give. Upcoming holy convocation is Purim, the 7th and 8th of March. Or I check the bulletin board in the hallway and check all I.S.U.P.K social media. If anyone wants to be shooting in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and that stuff. With that, I'm mad. And the Lord's Prayer, Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayah, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malak Wafka, Daba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawar, Hayah, Ba'Shemaya, Nathanawa, Lakam, Cow, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawafnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawafinawa, Wala'ah, Dabaya'aynawa, Wanasaya 1, Abor, Hawashainawa, Mayan, Right, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Waha'apara, Iwalumyam, Amen. And in the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. With that, but if you want to suit the teacher, men of Israel, I want to Shabbat.